Life always has a surprising way of changing things. Follow the journey of Tasha, a young woman who, despite all the adversities, discovers her true strength and transforms her life in ways she never imagined. What will happen when the invisible girl at school finds a new chance to rewrite her story? Come with me to today's story. Tasha was a girl who did very well in her studies, but not in the way she wanted. She lived in a small house on the outskirts of town, where her parents worked hard to give her a better life. Tasha was shy, wore big glasses, old clothes, and always had a backpack full of books. She had an enormous passion for her studies, and this helped her to disconnect from the worries of the world. But unfortunately, it didn't protect her from the mischief of her classmates at school. There, Tasha was always the target of taunts. Her classmates called her weird, ugly, and other cruel names that hurt her heart. Among Tasha's classmates was Andrey, the most popular boy in the school. He was everything Tasha wasn't: handsome, rich, athletic, and always surrounded by friends and admirers. Next to him was Sophie, his girlfriend, an equally popular and beautiful girl who loved to make fun of Tasha. Every day at school was a real battle for her. While Andrey and Sophie shone in the spotlight, Tasha felt invisible, carrying her books and trying to dodge the laughter and cruel comments. But even in the face of difficulties, she stood firm, determined to find her place and show that she was more than the mean words said. Tasha always tried to hide behind her books, hoping not to attract attention, but it seemed that this only made the taunts worse. Andrey and Sophie were the leaders of the group that tormented her. Even with all that, deep down, Tasha had a secret crush on Andrey, one of those first crushes we have in life, you know? She had known him since they were young, even before he became the person he was today. But she was fully aware that he would never see her beyond the jokes. One afternoon, as she was leaving the library with her books pressed to her chest, Tasha was surprised by Andrey and his friends who surrounded her, laughing and ready for another round of humiliation. "Hey, ugly girl, are you going to spend your whole life alone with those books?" mocked Sophie, making everyone laugh. Andrey, wanting to impress his friends and girlfriend, added, "I think she needs an imaginary boyfriend, since that's the only thing she's going to get." Tasha felt her face heat up with embarrassment, but she didn't raise her head. Instead, she picked up her pace to get away from them as quickly as possible. When she got home, her mother realized that something was wrong. She saw the gloom on Tasha's face and knew that her daughter was going through a difficult time. "Tasha, my love, what happened at school today?" asked her mother, with concern in her voice. "It was just another day, Mom," replied Tasha, trying to hold back her tears and appear strong. The days continued in the same vein, with Tasha coping with the teasing, until something surprising happened. Despite being so popular, Andrey was having serious problems with his studies. Andrey's grades plummeted, leaving his parents desperate. They decided he needed extra help. After talking to some teachers, they learned that Tasha, the best student in the school, was also an incredible tutor. "Andrey, we found someone to help you with your studies," his father announced one evening while everyone was gathered in the living room. "You're going to have tutoring with a colleague from your school." "With whom?" asked Andrey, already irritated. "Tasha," replied his mother, taking Andrey by surprise. "You've got to be kidding. The ugly girl?" Andrey exclaimed in disbelief. "She's the best student in the school and will help you improve your grades." "It's not a matter of choice, Andrey, it's something that has to be done," his father explained firmly. Andrey didn't like the idea, but he knew he had no choice. The next day, during break time, he approached Tasha for the first time without sneering. "Hi Tasha, my parents said you were going to tutor me," he said, a little embarrassed. Tasha, surprised, just nodded. "Yes, I'm available whenever you want to start." Andrey was clearly uncomfortable, while Tasha remained calm and focused, determined to help despite everything. They started with math, the subject Andrey had the most difficulty with. Tasha explained each concept patiently, helping Andrey to understand it better. As time went by, Andrey began to see something he hadn't noticed before. Tasha was intelligent, patient, and in a special way, charming. Each study session revealed something new about her, and Andrey became increasingly curious and impressed. However, he still struggled with his feelings and the shame of approaching her in front of others, especially for fear of the reaction of his friends and Sophie. She was determined to help Andrey improve in his studies, but gradually, something began to change inside her too. Study meetings became moments of discovery for both of them, not only in books, but also in their personal lives. Every smile shared and every small victory in the subjects created an unexpected bond between them. The previously tense and uncomfortable atmosphere became lighter and friendlier. Tasha and Andrey began to realize that, in addition to their studies, they were learning about friendship and companionship, and a special bond began to form between them. The situation at school was still complicated. Tasha continued to be the target of taunts, and Andrey, even though he was closer to her in private, kept his distance in public. But something inside him was changing, and he knew he couldn't hide his true feelings for long. The study meetings between Andrey and Tasha continued, and the dynamic between them became more and more interesting. Andrey realized that every moment he shared with Tasha made it harder to ignore his feelings. Tasha, for her part, began to see beyond Andrey's facade, discovering someone who was also struggling with her own insecurities. Tasha often drew Andrey's attention to her childish behavior and lack of seriousness in her studies. He, on the other hand, tried to divert the focus with jokes and silly comments. Despite the constant scolding, Andrey began to develop a growing admiration for Tasha. He felt inferior to her, impressed by her intelligence, patience, and determination. After a while, Andrey realized that he was in love with Tasha. The revelation frightened and embarrassed him. How could he, the popular rich kid, be in love with the shy, plain-looking nerd he always made fun of? He tried to deny his feelings, but they only grew stronger. One afternoon, during a math lesson, Andrey couldn't help himself. Tasha was concentrating on solving a problem when he suddenly interrupted her, grabbing her hand. Tasha was surprised to look at Andrey. Before she could react, he kissed her. It was a quick kiss, but full of emotion. Tasha pulled back, stunned and confused. "Andrey, what was that?" she asked, her heart racing. Andrey looked deep into her eyes and said, "Because I'm in love with you, Tasha. And I can't hide it inside anymore." She was speechless, trying to process what Andrey had just said. She had always been in love with him, but she had never thought that he could feel the same way. "Andrey, I have feelings for you too, but..." Before she could finish, Andrey kissed her again. He whispered in her ear, "Stay with me." She was deeply in love with Andrey, so she gave herself to him with affection and emotion. It was an unforgettable night. The next day, Tasha went to school feeling a mixture of nervousness and joy. She couldn't wait to see Andrey, and for the first time, she didn't care what anyone thought. When she saw him in the corridor, she approached him with a smile. "Hi, Andrey," she said, trying to act natural. But Andrey was surrounded by his friends. The pressure of the group and the fear of being ridiculed were too much for him. "What do you want, Tasha?" he asked harshly, as if the special evening and the confession of the day before had never happened. Tasha froze, feeling the pain of rejection take over. "I just wanted to talk to you," she replied, trying not to show her sadness. "I don't have time for that right now." "And please don't get in my way again," said Andrey, turning and walking away with his friends, who were laughing and making fun of Tasha. Tasha felt the tears coming, but she didn't want to cry in front of them. She turned and ran to the bathroom, where she locked herself in and let the tears fall. She felt humiliated and hurt for having believed Andrey. She wondered how she could have believed that Andrey really cared. Meanwhile, Andrey, although surrounded by friends, felt a deep pain, realizing that he had hurt himself by hurting Tasha. Over the next few days, Tasha didn't show up at school, not even to give Andrey lessons. Andrey, on the other hand, was filled with guilt and confusion. He knew he had hurt Tasha, but he didn't know how to make amends. Days passed, and Andrey wanted to apologize. He wanted to show Tasha that his feelings were true, but each attempt only made the situation worse. Tasha, for her part, began to plan her future with determination. She wanted to leave the city and all the pain it brought. Tasha decided that her transformation would be more than just a change of appearance. It would be a complete renewal of her life and self-esteem. As the days went by, she began to prepare herself for this big change. She knew that Andrey would realize too late how much she had changed. Determined to move on, she was ready to leave the city and all its problems behind. Tasha packed her bags, said goodbye in silence and headed for the bus station, ready to start a new life elsewhere. As she waited for the bus, her heart was heavy, but her mind was focused on the new opportunities ahead of her. Andrey, on the other hand, was panicking. He finally realized the depth of his feelings for Tasha and knew he couldn't let her go without trying to make things right. He rushed to the bus station, heart pounding, hoping to make it in time. Tasha looked up, surprised and a little annoyed, but Andrey was determined. He apologized, declared his love and tried to explain. However, Tasha stood firm. The pain of the humiliation was still strong and she knew she had to move on, away from that toxic environment. With tears in her eyes, she picked up her bags and got on the bus, leaving Andrey behind, distraught. The following years were difficult for Andrey. He broke up with Sophie, revealed his feelings for Tasha to everyone and spent a long time regretting it. His popularity disappeared and he became isolated, living with guilt. Meanwhile, Tasha started a new life in another city. She had gone to live with an uncle, who was a kind man who gave her the chance to start over. With his help, Tasha changed completely, her looks, her confidence, and she became a strong, independent woman. When Uncle passed away, he left Tasha everything, along with a legacy of generosity and love. One day, she decided to return to the town that had once made her suffer so much. Andrey found out that Tasha was back in town to visit her parents. His heart racing, he wasted no time in going to their house, determined to see her. When he arrived, Andrey was amazed to see a stunning, confident woman talking to Tasha's parents. She had changed so much that he almost didn't recognize her. Tasha's eyes met Andrey's, and they both realized how much their lives had changed. Andrey moved closer, still amazed at Tasha's incredible transformation. Andrey asked for a moment to talk and told Tasha about the 5 years of regret and pain he had faced since she left. Andrey confessed that he still loved Tasha deeply and begged for a chance to prove his love. She was surprised because deep down she had never forgotten Andrey, but her heart was still bruised by the scars of the past. She didn't believe him and asked him to leave. Andrey left Tasha's parents' house, devastated, feeling that he had lost his last chance to win back the love of his life. After Andrey left, Tasha's parents questioned her. They explained that, shortly after Tasha's departure, Andrey ended his relationship and publicly confessed his feelings for her. They also said that Andrey had suffered all these years, visiting Tasha's mother every week to feel closer to her. They argued that Andrey didn't deserve to be rejected again, because his love for Tasha was true. Tasha's parents' words touched her deeply. For the first time, she realized the sincerity and depth of Andrey's feelings. Thrilled and with her heart racing, Tasha decided that she couldn't let true love slip away again. Determined, she ran to Andrey's house. Every step was a mixture of nervousness and hope. When she arrived, breathless but resolute, Tasha knew she was ready to give the love Andrey had always had for her a chance. She knocked on the door, waiting anxiously for the moment when they could finally start again. When Tasha arrived, Andrey was sitting on the balcony, looking away. When he saw her, he stood up, surprised and full of hope. Tasha approached him, with tears in her eyes, and told him that she forgave him for everything. She confessed that she was ready to give their love a chance and that she now understood how much he really loved her. Andrey, his heart overflowing with joy, hugged Tasha tightly. They kissed, sealing the beginning of a new chapter in their lives. News of Tasha and Andrey's reunion and happy ending soon spread throughout the city. Those who had once laughed at Tasha now admired her deeply. Everyone saw how Tasha's transformation had made her a strong and confident woman. She and Andrey finally found happiness together. They celebrated their love at a beautiful wedding, where friends and family gathered to witness the union of two souls who were destined to be together. True strength comes from overcoming challenges, believing in the power of transformation, and trusting that genuine love always finds its way. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it and leave a comment about what you thought. Thanks for watching and see you next time.